This podcast of storytellers would like to acknowledge the first storytellers whose land we are recording on today, the first peoples of the Kulin Nation. We would like to pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We acknowledge them and their Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples whose culture lives on today in Naarm, the city, Melbourne. Theirs is the oldest in the world, and their sovereignty was never ceded.
Hello, all you baddies, benders, and babes, and bad dice rollers, and welcome back to the Book of War, an Avatar Legends real play.
There's only one of them.
The story of four runaways searching. The story of four runaways seeking the Book of War in a world without the Avatar.
I'll let you take that one again.
No, that's I did.
He does the intro about as well as he rolls his dice.
Yeah, apparently so. My name is Jesse Thomas, and I play Min Fang, the failure. He, him. Repressed runaway lava bender who found a new home for themselves in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family secrets. And my Min fact for today is, as of right now, he has no access to earthbending. He has no bangle that he can turn into a knife. And I have full conditions and 4 fatigue marked. So just to set the state that I'm in. I'm also off. I'm not on my center, so I can't even moment of balance my way out, which Ash very much laughed at me when I realized. So yeah, this could be it for all men. That's my fact. Min could die.
Can I get you a vest?
A vest?
Like, don't you wear like a really nice vest? I see it in.
Get your vest, yeah.
Get me a vest.
Can I get your vest?
For like,
Min Fang's vest.
You
like,
want
I want to inherit.
Right, I see.
Yeah. First dibs.
If you find his
Gold
body.
dibs. Yeah, if I find.
Tomo's investing in his future.
Hi, my name is Lucas. I play Tomo the Razor, he, him. A combustion bender who likes to keep entrees and secrets close to his chest and is trying to redefine his place in the world. Tomo fact. He doesn't know what's fact or fiction anymore. There are things he remembers and there are things that he's certain of, but they're not matching with what he's seeing right now. Like, there's definitely some sort of a weird timeline distortion thing here.
Within Tomo's memory? Yeah.
Because like this is all like he washed up on Yudao, like that's kind of what he remembers, but then suddenly all these things are a bit familiar here in Shinsum. Look, the main thing that Tomo's holding on to is the fact that he knows that there are now 3 more young children that he's taken under his care, and he's going to get them out no matter what.
Hello, my name is Georgie Hazel, and I play Nuro, the Destined, they, she, he, a runaway from the strange and mystical foggy swamp. Once a lone wanderer and now part of a pack, Nuro finds himself navigating a world more complex and mysterious than they ever knew. But every step they take forward, the shadow of the swamp grows bigger. And you have a choice, all of you. Do you want to hear a Banji Nuro kind of mini adventure? Do you want a swamp adventure involving potatoes? Or do you want...
No, we don't need the third one. Just give us the potatoes.
Yeah, I want to know about the potatoes.
Okay, so I like to imagine that the Foggy Swamp tribes, they're pretty isolated. But I like to imagine that, every now and again there is a chance for trade. Like, people just stumble across, merchants on their way. And they got some potatoes. And Nuro took one of those potatoes and kind of just lost it in the swamp. And I really imagine this kind of like a glade in the swamp somewhere that is just filled with potatoes.
Some people have a field of dreams.
Yeah.
Else time it's a field of potatoes.
Yeah. That's just just this overgrown section. Swamp full of
Swamp potatoes.
Speaking of overgrown potatoes, my name's
Good one.
My name's Ted Darling, and I play Banji the Guardian, he, him, a runaway from the Fire Nation army who has instead chosen to use his strength to protect the vulnerable. My Banji fact for today is Ash mentioned in the last episode that Jesse and I were sending texts to each other about what our plan is. And we did come up with, I think, like 2 or 3 contingencies, and none of them
happened. Yeah. We had something for if we picked up where we left off. We had something for if we were put in jail.
Yeah.
Didn't have this.
Nothing.
Didn't
It
have
was
Death
just-
Pit.
Yeah, we were absolutely just taken
Unprepared
completely by
for Death
surprise.
Pit.
So, sorry.
Hello, my name is Ash. I am the Grand Master of the White Lotus.
Gum gum.
Gum, gum.
Wow, wow.
No, please keep going. This is much better than what
That's
I had.
all I was doing.
Okay. I mentioned a couple of episodes ago that I was basically keeping track on, how much heat they were getting from the questions they were asking and who they were asking them from. Episode 1, they managed to not raise a single flag. Chapter 2, all at once, just bang, bang, bang.
That's how we roll.
That's how Jesse rolls. Speaking of, roll the music. When we last left off, Banji was staring potential death in the face after he and Minh Fang having failed their any form of pleading, intimidating, or otherwise with what can only be described as the crime lord of Shinzen Big Island, a place known for lawlessness.
Yep.
And so, yes, you are currently trapped in some degree of murder labyrinth. We also have 3 children that got rescued by Iroh, Nuro, and Tomo. Iroh stayed back and assumedly is not doing as well. But the 2 of you have made it to the top of the re-innovator. And that's where I want to start. You have rescued these 3 children, at least for the moment. Where do we see the 2 of you?
There's a part of Tomo that wants Nuro to go ahead and maybe take the kids back to the dragon. And he stays behind to see who comes out of that, if anyone walks out of there. What do you think?
I think Nuro would have a little bit of pushback, again, just not wanting to leave you behind. But I think that comes from a place of fear of it being such a big task, these kids. So I think, yeah, if you wanted to approach Nuro with that idea.
I'm going to give you another option. I think Arturo was just waiting.
Arturo?
Yeah, Arturo was waiting in the street. He didn't like the small room, so he didn't go in there. He'd spent far too long in a small room ongoing. And he's like, hey, if you need someone to look after the sproglets, I can. Hey, kiddos, how you doing? Ta-da. And he waves his little puffin wings. He's like, ta-da, talking puffin fly.
How did the kids react?
I think the kids are just traumatized and don't quite know what to do. They're somewhere between panicked with the explosions they heard, relieved that they're smelling fresh air.
Yeah.
There's a kid their age that is surrounded by water, and there's now a talking puffin fly. I think they're just shocked.
Yeah, okay.
right.
I think Nuro sees that really doesn't help and just
Squawk, squawk.
Tomo is going to kneel down in front of the 3 kids. I have been where you are. And I got out. You are now out. And we are going to do everything we can to keep it that way. But I need you to listen very carefully. This is Arturo. He's our friend. He's going to take you to a dragon who is also our friend. Are you ready to follow him?
I think the kids, they look scared, but they don't know what else to do. And I think Arturo leans over and just goes, so should I keep up with the squawking or...
Just speak, Arturo.
And I think that they chuckle, just a little... And he goes, come on, kids, let's get you to safety. Have you ever seen a dragon? And he starts fluttering away, and the kids follow, and they look back at the 2 of you.
Tomo just...
And Mia comes back, takes a few steps forward. She goes, but you're coming back for us, right?
Nuro, very, very serious look on their face, like the most serious they've ever been, holds out their pinky for the kid.
And Mia, being a child and knowing the universal law that is unbreakable of a pinky promise, smiles, a little gap tooth smile, and shakes your pinky with hers.
Yeah. And then Nuro like lifts their thumb and like motions for Mia to do the same, and then makes a little tss, and they're like, it's sealed now.
You're going to say that you unlocked your firebending powers.
No,
and
Nuro makes a little tss. All right, it's sealed.
She giggles again, and it's sealed, and smiles, and runs off to the puff and fly.
We probably just watch the kids safely go out of view. And then Nuro just like turns and cranes her neck up at Tomo and just, honestly, they're a little bit lost. Like, we got to go back down for Hero, right?
At about this time, you hear whatever mechanism it is that makes the elevator go, activates.
Nuro, into the shadows. Now, follow me.
Yeah, Nuro ducks, brings out their water again very, very carefully.
I'll let you know you've got time because it means it's got to go down before it comes back up again. So you've got at least a minute.
Okay.
All right. I want to. You're saying we're in an alleyway,
Yes.
right? Alleyway. Is there any buildings or windows? Can we basically get onto? Can we find a high ground?
I mean, yeah, I sure, why not?
Okay.
I won't make you roll for it just in case it all goes wrong. Or maybe I should. That'll make life really, really easy for me.
You say we have a minute though.
Yeah, you got a minute. Yeah, no, it's fine. With a minute, you manage to get some high ground.
All right.
All right. Cool. So I think let's stay next to each other.
Yeah.
High ground and just watching.
I think whether or not they mean to or not, whether or not they picked it up from you or your memories, I think like Nuro's really nervous, so they're just like, breathe in, breathe out.
Tomo takes a hand and just sort of gently just pat them on the back.
Yeah.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you, Nuro. If nothing else, we got those kids out.
We got those kids out.
But let's finish this.
Right. I'm very serious. We need to go.
After a period of time, you hear the mechanism stop again. About 5 of these soldier-type people come out and hit the streets looking around. After they have a quick look around the area, 2 of them walk off, 2 of them go back down, and one of them moves back into the initial room, and you hear a click as the door locks.
Okay. Tomo's going to gesture to Nuro to go after the 2 that's walking away.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is there a way to, from where we are, to sort of like shadow them a little bit?
Yeah, you can Spider-Man your way along the roof.
Yep. Excellent.
Yeah, I imagine Alvin's like, do not let them find the kids, basically. Yeah.
But like Tomo's really curious to see where they go
Where they
from
go.
here. Yeah.
All right. Yep. Aim for a very, very kind of sneaky approach across the roofs, I think.
I would like both of you to push your luck here. I think that this is in there. I'm trying to give you a luck roll to see if you just happen to go in the right direction.
Okay.
So who's got the better passion?
+1.
It would be you. I've got, I have 1.
Perfect.
as well.
So I want you both to roll 1 die each, and we're adding 1 in total.
Oh, 1 die each.
Yep, 1 die each.
But how can I use 2 hands to roll 1 dice? Wait.
Technically, you are using 2 hands, like one of Georgie's and one of yours.
Should we hold hands and combine powers? Heart of the
This
dice.
disgusts me.
2, 3.
Welcome to my house.
We should not listen to him. He is poison.
Can we please, for the players at home, hear what you got?
What are we adding? Just 1 passion?
+1.
From each of us?
No.
rolled
+1.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, it's a total of 4.
That's what we got.
Wee woo.
This is cursed. No. From now on, we do our own thing. Cursed.
All right. Here's what happens. as the two of you follow these two, which are heading somewhat in the direction of these children, the camera pans up and goes 2 alleyways over and down to see Minh, Fang and Banji being dragged to the facility.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You just missed us.
You just missed them.
Actually, that is. I thought it was gonna be so much worse than that. No, I'm okay.
I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna get a new vest.
Well, good news, team. We don't know when your
didn't break
reinforcements are
the
coming.
timeline.
Yeah, we don't know. Well, no, we weren't going to break the timeline, but you can tell for now your reinforcements are not immediately behind you.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
As you follow, like you see that these thugs are getting closer to the direction the children went. What do you want to do about it?
Well, I think when it's clear to me that they are looking for the children as opposed to going back to report to whatever, I think I want to jump them. Yeah, surprise attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Tomo has a thing where he can
Surprising entrance, isn't it?
surprising entrance. Exactly.
Look at me remembering what the players have. Surprising entrance, when you trick someone by using your skills to disappear and reappear somewhere else within the same scene. Roll with focus instead of creativity.
Focus it is.
Roll for it.
See, like my way works. That's a 10.
Are you jumping out in front of them?
Well,
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, describe how this looks. I'll give you.
I think.
I'd love to do like a duo thing with you.
Okay, sure. Sounds
Combo
good.
move.
All right, cool. So I think Tomo's just going to gesture like I'm going to take the one on the right, and leave the one on the left for you.
Okay.
You jump down and you just absolutely land on top of this poor, unsuspecting, murderous man. Nuro, how are you dispatching your one?
I wanted to get them on the ground. So I think like immobilize them at first by maybe like taking advantage of Tomo's surprise. And maybe just waterbend down like a little bit of like a puddle behind them for them to just kind of slip up and kind of fall to the ground. And Nuro will kind of jump down, take out their bone knife and bone knife at the neck, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
Slip them up, bone knife to the neck.
All right. I'm going to summarize this picture really, really neatly. Tomo drops down and clonks this guy in the back of the head. In the meantime, Nuro creates a muddy pile, and as this man steps back, he completely loses his footing. And within a quarter of a second, Nuro is on top, knife at the ready.
All right. So when you say I clonked the guy, is he knocked out?
He's
unconscious?
out.
He's out. He's unconscious.
You rolled very well.
Okay.
One is knocked out and one is at your mercy.
Tomo's is maybe slightly feeling guilty that he's bringing out this side to Nuro, but there's a job to be done. So seeing that his target is out cold, he's going to loom over the other ones.
As he does, Nuro presses the knife a little bit closer and you see this man right here? He came from down there. Whatever it is that you were trying to get those kids to do, I promise he will do it right now to you if you don't tell us what we want to hear.
Roll intimidate. You get a +1.
8.
Okay. They're going to choose the most easy option on the list, which is they give in with a few stipulations. Okay. If you don't hurt me, I'll tell you what you want to know. What do you want to know? What? Just don't hurt me.
Karash. Where is Karash?
We flash over to Banji.
Yep.
Because I don't want to leave the audience waiting any longer than they have to hear what's about to happen. You see this intake of breath.
Yep.
You don't specifically know what's coming. You get a feeling, and it's not good.
Yeah, I think Banji just saw what happened to Minh Fang, and it's almost like his military training kicks in. So he's actually going to fall backwards, like on his back, and as he does, raise a wall of fire in front of himself. So that I'm guessing if this is shooting, he's going to wait until it passes over him, And then once it does, he's going to flip up and put the wall of fire up as high as he can in the maze, and then just book it towards where Minh Fang flew.
Let's roll your firewall. Please roll rely on your skills and training, because this is your jam. I don't want to see exactly how impassable this wall is.
I also have a -2 because I'm troubled. So let's hope it goes well. And I get a +1 though because of my martyr complex. So net loss. So I rolled a 10, and then with my focus and all of my pluses and minus, that's actually an 11.
Yeah,
Finally, someone succeeded.
well, I guess this goes exactly as you wanted it to. You throw yourself back.
Yep.
Like Neo Matrix dodging bullets.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, as you see this thing go overhead, it almost looks like a pulsing wave of air. It's very fast. And while you're in that split second thinking, is this airbending? It flies down and hits a wall behind you way down the way.
Yep.
The sound is deafening. It is more violent than anything you've ever heard. Where fireworks gave you joy at some point, this is that same ideology if it was used for destruction. The wall of fire shoots up higher. You are almost inspired by needing to get away, and you make a break for it.
Yeah, I think as I fall back, I kind of turn that into a backflip and kick up. And as I sort of kick, the wall goes higher and reaches the top of wherever the maze is.
When did Banji get so cool?
Yeah, it's just the military training kicking in.
When did the military get cool?
And then he takes off running towards Minh, but he does so in like a serpentine kind of fashion, so that if this happens again, he's not going to try. Well, hopefully not get hit.
I think by the time you end up at the corner to run down, like so you hit where it's exploded and you see the damage.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, the wall is still somewhat standing. It's crumbled a bit, but you couldn't just walk through the wall. And you see, as you're coming around the corner, that he seems to do something similar, like where your firewall is. And you get the impression that if he makes enough dust, dirt, rock, and whatever else, it will extinguish what you've got. So you've got a bit of time, but not a lot of time.
Cool. Can I look around and see where the wall exploded and is concrete? Are there any rocks that look rocky and not concretey?
Like, here's the thing. You are not an earthbender.
Yeah.
So absolutely, there are a few stones around. You're just like, oh, these are great. But I will tell you, like, you, the player, not you, the character, that if you were to pick them up, you would give them to Minh Fang, and Minh Fang would be like, these are useless.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
I think I scoop up some rocks anyway, and just in case.
Just
and
in
then,
case.
Banji runs towards where he saw Minh Fang fly away.
Yes, you are. I'm going to get you to push your luck for me, please.
Cool.
Believe in you, Dad.
Come on, buddy.
Your only hope.
So I roll with my passion, so that is a 9, but then I get a -2, so that's a 7.
+1 because of martyr complex.
+1 because of martyr complex is an 8.
Yeah, it doesn't change. It doesn't change the result.
I have too many pluses and minuses.
The good news about push your luck is that it coming in, there is some sort of cost.
Yep.
The good news for you do not run into a dead end.
Awesome.
The bad news is that you do not find Minh Fang.
Okay.
Minh Fang.
I think
How are you feeling, buddy? Just checking in.
Yeah.
Jesse, Minh Fang, both.
look, we're getting there. I have some ideas where I previously had none, so I'm not all doom and gloom.
Okay.
So I think Minh flies through the air and like lands on a wall and then like falls back into the maze and sort of like is pretty badly hurt from that. And I think a few things go through his mind, like that's what Tomo can do, first of all, because he's never seen it. None of us have actually seen him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just exploded a tiny little pebble or
And
something, didn't he?
I think Minh is like this cold sweat, and he tries to get up and his legs sort of hurt and he can stand, but he's like, oh, this is bad. Like, I think Min's weird couple of days of exceptional confidence have completely been destroyed in an instant. But he knows he has to do something, so he's going to get up and start stumbling forward in any direction. And as he does, he's just going to be holding his hand out and trying to grab as much of those small little gravelly rocks out of the ground with some earthbending as he can, just collecting them up as he moves through, just to get some. And I think he gets like a small handful.
Let's roll push your luck.
Yeah, okay. Everyone ready?
Believe in you.
Everyone ready for another failure? Here we go. 7 plus 1, an 8 minus 2, a 6. That's a failure.
I think that you begin to form, like you start pulling up the dust and debris and whatever else, and you're like, maybe if I can condense it down, and you get something that looks like it could be a rock. Like you feel it, you could do a thing, and you like just playfully test its weight, and as you go to throw it up, it just disintegrates.
I imagine the walls are made of the same material.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Weirdly enough, they've been painted over, and you can tell there are spots that have been painted over multiple times.
Right, okay. Can I get like a handful of dust, like gravel? And yeah, okay. He's just gonna get
Pocket sand.
legit some pocket sand. He has nothing, and he's just gonna start working through this maze. Yeah, I think he. Yeah, he's just gonna start walking through the maze. I think I'm gonna assess the situation, I think.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
I don't
know why I'm rolling. I know what it's going to be.
Oh, wow.
Double ones, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Cool. I think Min is way too... Min is just he cannot think. I think, honestly, it actually... He sort of has that moment again where that ringing in his ears starts and he hears his heartbeat and he's having an anxiety attack, I think, essentially, and he just doesn't know what to do. So he's just walking and freaking out, and he's just got this. Yeah, that's it. That's all you got.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what happens here. You begin to get lost in your own head. You're not just in a maze physically, you're lost in a maze mentally as well. And you don't even notice that you trip over the currently knocked out body of Iroh.
Yeah.
And you fall face first. And as you do, with that pumping, you hit the ground and just a little crack of lava appears out of your hand and it breaks apart one of the walls a little bit. And all of a sudden, you see, or anyone that was looking, sees both Sapphire and Karash look in that direction.
This is Min's worst day ever.
Good news, Iroh wakes up.
Yeah, I don't know he's there. I keep going. I just keep going. Like, I don't know he's there. You told me like that was a full failure. I can't get any benefit from that. I just keep going.
No, I mean, I think he's calling us like, Min.
You can't hear him. He's just got this ringing. He's not there. I think he's just...
Where are we? What is this place?
If he looks at Min's not okay. Like, he's pretty messed up. So I think he can't hear him.
Yeah, he's hanging behind it, trying to avoid the lava that's now floating about in a couple of places. Good news, it does, at least for him, as he begins to realize this is a maze, give him at least some point of reference about where he's going. And he's like, oh, we've been there, or there's the glow over there. So as much as he's following you, he can see that you are, in fact, moving away from wherever you were.
Sure.
Banji.
Yes.
What's your next plan of attack?
It would really just be trying to get away from the kid and trying to find a way forward through this maze to find Min Fang or whoever. He knows that there's a third person in there, doesn't know who it is.
That's fair.
And he's just trying to find somebody else. So
if you give me something you're doing, it might change the roll, but otherwise we're pushing your luck again.
Cool.
It's one of those... What is it? Alien Isolation? What's the one where the alien hunts you down?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's that vibe. You can be like, yeah, I'm on a mission.
And kids
however,
are so creepy. Like,
doing the math.
Yeah, doing the math.
His eyes rolled to the back of his head as he did the math.
He's
that's
going
a
to the
failure.
avatar state to do it.
Guys, I'm not good at maths. That's a failure.
That's
I think I got a 6.
Straight up fail.
Yeah.
I think that you round a corner at the same time that the kid rounds a corner. There is a short distance between you. And would you believe the very first thing he does?
We won. You don't have to do this. I'm not here to hurt you, I promise.
You can roll plead.
Yeah.
You have a -1 in addition to...
A -2.
But I have a +1 because of mana content.
Hey,
And plead that's what's
Harmony. How's Banji on his harmony?
not great.
you're rolling with a -3.
So
-3 plus 1, so -2.
-2. All right.
Oh,
So that's a 7.
Oh.
Would that be a...
That's a 9, and then -2 total. So that's a 7.
So
That's something, baby.
I just watched Jesse. Jesse just stopped and lifted up everything in front of him.
I was looking at plead. It was underneath my character sheet.
Yeah. So you need something more evidence that this is the right course, guidance in making them right choices, or resources to aid them before they act. The GM tells you what I need.
Yeah.
So what do I need for this kid not to moidle me?
Moidle.
A thumbs up. Eee.
You see after what you just said that he is now holding his breath. You can tell he has not lost that focus,
Yep.
but he has not expelled it. You get the sense that whatever you say next is going to be a very, very, very important thing to say.
Thank you for stopping. My friends and I came here to... We heard that there were children that were being imprisoned and turned into weapons. And my friend and I came here to help you and to free the children and to stop this from happening. Can you help us?
He aims his shot into the sky. He just shoots the ceiling. And as he does, it is some ways above you, but you see there are rocks coming towards you as they plummet down. So this same sort of concrete-y type stuff.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's not rock.
Yeah, make sure it's not
I'll take him
rocks.
for my boy.
And like you make a quick jump forward,
Yep.
and you see that he's blocked off the path behind you. You get the distinct sense that he is quite happy being a weapon, and he begins to inhale again. I'm going to get you to pick a stance.
Go, baby. Ted, get him.
I'm going to actually pick advance and attack.
He too is using advance and attack, but you get to go first.
I'm just going to use strike. And I don't take any penalties from my conditions, do I?
No.
Yeah.
No, in fights you do not.
Awesome. So that's a 7. So that's a mixed success.
Okay, you can do one of your things.
Yeah, I just strike. So I force him to mark 2 fatigue or mark a condition or shift the balance away from center.
So you're marking fatigue to force him to do a thing, or he gets to choose?
He gets to choose.
Okay. How does this strike look?
Seeing that this kid doesn't respond to, hey, we're here to help you, and almost, I imagine there's like a sinister grin on his face.
No, just
nothing?
Straight determination.
Yeah, okay.
His current goal is to eliminate everyone in this room.
Yeah. All right, so Banji thought when he aimed the explosion up, Banji actually thought he'd gotten through to the kid. Seeing that he aimed back down and breathed in, Banji's just going to straight up punch a fist forward and shoot a bolt of fire straight at him.
Okay. He just takes it. He absolutely just, it hits him on the chest and it does not deter him from the blast that comes at you.
Yeah.
You have a choice. And by have a choice, I'm fairly certain there's only one, or else you are Dunskies. You can either dive for cover, marking 2 fatigue and becoming impaired, or if you don't dive for cover, you mark 4 fatigue. Just a quick reminder that if you run out of fatigue, you start marking conditions. And just
if
a
I
quick
can't mark
reminder,
conditions?
you have 5 conditions marked and there are no more you can mark.
I will dive for cover and become impaired.
All right. You're slowed or off balance, mark 1 fatigue, or take -2 to all physical actions. Banji, this thing, it just explodes. It is so violent now that you're seeing it up close. The last 2 times you've seen it have been further away. This one is right there. And you realize for the first time in your life exactly how close to dying you really are. Back to the street and a little bit back in time. You get everything you wanted to know out of this character, of whom doesn't have a name. We flash forward. What did you learn?
We learned where the professor is, which I presume is kind of where our friends are, I suppose. But I also want to learn if, like, how do we get in? If they know, like, is there, like, what's the protocol? Is there, like, a secret knock? Is there?
There is absolutely a different entrance.
Yeah.
I think that's what he says. Like, we all go out the back because that's how we want. But anytime they're taking big guests, they come in through the front, and that's so you'll find that down this alleyway. If you come through here, the knock is 3 times. It's actually an automated knock. It just will open. There's no one there. You'll be able to walk straight in.
All right.
Please don't kill me.
Tomo says thank you, and then just knocks him with the cestus.
You said you.
Yep. Okay, cool. So we do that.
Yep.
We do the knock. We get in. Tomo in front, moving quietly, listening for anybody trying to figure out what's happening in there.
You get the impression that whatever interesting things are happening further away. So you're in essence, some degree of entrance hall. This would be, if they were having someone come in, they could sort of vet them. There's a desk which is unattended. You get the distinct idea that it's just a facade.
Okay.
If anyone happened to stumble in, they would just be kindly asked to leave by comparison to whisked away, because you can't just gonk everybody that gets lost.
Yep.
Even on Shinsen Big Island, people do ask questions. And there are a couple of different ways that you can go. You can leave it to luck, you can leave it to a roll, or you can use some degree of intuition. What works for you?
I guess Tomo is going to... So you're saying there are multiple passages, like different doors or different pathways?
Yeah, there are 3 different pathways you could take. One is lower, one has a set of stairs, and one has probably about 2 stairs. So I'll give it to you this way. One is the low ground, one's the middle ground, one's the high ground.
Tomo is going to try to look... What's the ground made out of? Is it the kind of ground like that would leave prints, or is it like... Basically, I'm trying to figure out which one is the most well-traversed.
You can roll assess the situation to try and figure it out. That was just to describe the listeners at home, he sort of had both hands and just sort of rolled, like he used his top hand to roll them off the bottom hand.
And what is it, Georgie?
That's 12. Baby.
Jesse, I'm looking at you. Are you like... Are you going to try the 2-handed roll, or are you like...
No.
That's the hill you're going to die on. I respect that.
That's the hill Min will die on.
That's the hill Min will die on.
My hill.
Meanwhile, Tomo will try to actually rescue Min's ass.
You don't know I'm gone, buddy.
Yeah, currently.
Yeah, I actually, we don't even know that they're in here.
Yeah.
You're just re-infiltrating.
Yep. So that's a 15. By the way, just if we're keeping scores.
We aren't, but I think Jess...
I just rolled a 0 and you rolled a 15.
The duality of man.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Guys, I think Jesse's quitting the podcast. I think we're watching it happen in real time.
You want me gone, kill me. I'm sticking around for my boy.
He's been writing something down. I think it's his resignation letter. All right. You know the questions. What here can I use to? What's the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's the best way in, out, through? What's in the greatest danger? You have 2 that you can ask.
What's the best way in and out? So I guess that's my way of saying, like, how do I get to the action? And what is the biggest danger? What do you reckon? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
one?
What is the biggest threat?
You are conjuring a memory. You realize that you've seen this room before, only once, and you were coming down one set of stairs. It was the middle ground that you came out of. And one time, one time only, you were taken up that top flight of stairs. And you know that that's where Karash spends her time. The observation chambers must mean that they're down that bottom way. Last time you were here, they were those water chambers. Because it makes sense that people that would be doing the testing would stand back if someone was going to do something. So you know roughly where she's likely to be. You know roughly which way you want to go. And the other option was, what should you be on the lookout for? What was the other question?
What's the greatest danger?
What's in the greatest danger? At about this exact point in time, you hear an explosion coming from down that lower passageway. And not too long afterwards, as you're like trying to work out your plan of attack, you hear another one.
There's no way Tomo would know that it's Minh Fang that's getting shot at.
Absolutely not.
So I think he would stay on task and head up to Karash.
Okay. You begin to make your way up. And as you... I'm assuming Neuro's going with?
Nuro will follow, yep.
Yeah, sorry, that was judgmental of me to be like, of course Nuro would tag along. You head through. And absolutely the layout, as much as this part is the same, you look down, you have never seen this maze before. This is brand new to you. And all of a sudden, as you're approaching this area and you see this glass, you see a pillar of lava roll over one of the walls. And within a heartbeat later, there is another explosion at a different part of the maze.
Lava. Tomo, is Minh down here?
He might be.
The explosion that you see strikes the roof and stones begin to fall down.
Yep.
Okay, so we rush up for a higher vantage point?
I think, well, not rush, but like,
I think
carefully move.
I think Nuro probably goes to rush, and
I
if
think,
you wanna...
yeah, Tomo's gonna try to pull you back a bit.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for that, or?
No.
That's okay. I'll accept it. When
I mean, yeah, ultimately that's Georgie's decision.
No.
Yeah.
I stop, breathe in, breathe out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, is there anyone up at that vantage point, or are we...
As you get there, you see a woman you've never seen before, and you see the professor standing watching intently. Neither of them have noticed you're there yet.
Can we see Banji and Minh yet?
If you... I'll give you this one as your payoff. If you take one further step, you think that you can see the tops of their heads. If you take one further step, you will be able to see them fully, but they will be able to see you fully.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Tomo's just gonna hold you back and just whisper, the best way to stop this is to stop them. She'll be able to call it off.
At this point in time, the explosion that Banji dived out of the way occurs now. And you see his top knot, his ponytail top knot.
Top knot.
Yeah, you see his top knot just dive down, and the explosion goes very, very close to him.
Okay. Nuro is like literally about to jump off the platform, I think. You feel that energy building in them.
Yeah, like Tomo kind of wants to gesture for you to take the woman that we've never seen before, and he goes for Karash.
Okay.
Karash, like, do you have anything that can take her out quickly?
Are they leaning against any kind of railing or anything like that?
No, they're both just standing there.
Both just standing there.
I will mention there is glass.
There is glass. I mean,
Oh.
look, Nuro could definitely try and... do they have any water on them at all?
You rolled, greatest danger. Yes, they do.
They do. Okay. All right. I think Nuro can sense that. Yeah, specifically the lady beside the professor has water on them. So I think, at Tomo's question, they would very nervously nod and kind of ready themselves and just wait for some kind of signal.
Tomo is going to hold out his hand and stick out 3 fingers, and he's going to count down. 3, 2, 1.
At that point, they make a little push and pull motion with their fingers, kind of like little spider fingers almost, splayed out. And the bottle, the lid kind of pops off, and this water just kind of jankily almost makes its way up, but quick enough to just envelop her head. Pretty much, I'm like suffocating her at this moment in time.
Roll, evade, and observe.
Great.
And whilst they're doing that, Tomo was just gonna can I use my surprise interest again, or
You roll your trick and go from there.
I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12.
Thank the spirits.
And I clear 1 fatigue. Boop.
And you clear 1 fatigue.
Oh, because I'm rolling evade and observe. Or am I not in combat, technically?
No, it's fine. You also, if you have another technique you want to use, you rolled a 12, you can do it.
Okay, since I rolled evade and observe, I would actually like to use a fighting technique from evade and observe, which is a mastered move called anticipate. And I study a nearby foe to learn where their momentum will take them next, declare the approach they are tending towards. In the next exchange, that foe must use that approach or mark a condition.
Right. You have given them the stunned status.
Great.
What you get from using this anticipate is that you see them trying to actively siphon the water off of their head. And it's currently fighting against yours. You can tell they're a waterbender, and they are going to try and evade and observe next time to get this off their head.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna go with pinpoint thrust then. Go straight for target with precision accuracy. Mark 1 fatigue to inflict 2 fatigue and impede your foe.
Roll your dice.
Roll my dice.
Is this a you said advantage attack?
It is an advanced attack, but because of my Mind of Steel, I use my focus instead of passion.
Nice.
Which means that I rolled a 9, 12.
Okay. So absolutely, you use this pinpoint accuracy. So they are also marking a condition of impaired and fatigue. And you get to do something else from advantage attack if you want to.
I'm going to use pressure. Impress or intimidate a foe. Choose an approach. Your foe cannot use that approach in the next exchange. I want her to not be able to defend her maneuver.
Okay. Amazing. Banji,
Yep.
what are you choosing? Choose the coward's way out.
I'm impaired, so can I actually choose an approach?
Yes. Yes, with your impaired, mark 1 fatigue or take a -2, or you can try and impress me in some other way.
I think Banji's going to try and evade and observe.
Okay.
And I'm going to clear 1 fatigue, and I'm going to use... Well, I've got to roll first.
Well, you automatically clear the fatigue the second you say it.
Great. 6. So I clear the fatigue, but I fail.
You fail. The young child walks over. You hit the deck in the last one as you dived out of the way.
Yep.
And I think with that cough, he sort of just walks over. The last thing you see is a boot striking you in the face. And you are out. All of a sudden, I think that Minh Fang is brought back to himself as he hears more explosions and the sound of conflict going in other spaces. You almost hear the muffled cry because that megaphone type setup is still happening, And you realize that Iroh is behind you as his voice almost like, we are doing.
Comes back and he puts a hand on me, and then it sort of snaps me out of it. Here. Great, let's get out of here.
I do not think it is that easy.
Well, what other choice do we have? I don't know what to do.
Well, I may have one trick up my sleeve I have not revealed before. I haven't tried it before. It may go poorly.
Well, I think this is the time to use them. So let's keep going.
And he wraps his arms around your waist, and you see him leap up into the air with pillars of fire behind him. And you see it's taking all of his concentration to get this done. He's looking a little bit beat up again. You notice, and not quite sure why. And as he gets up, he points, he goes, there. And as he points, he loses his footing because all of a sudden you shift in balance and you go back down again, but you get a sense of where the exit actually is. And you hit the ground pretty okay. He hits the ground pretty hard.
Yep.
As he just sort of like rolls along.
Do we see Banji or anyone else?
No, but you can see that Tomo and Nuro are now up in that control room.
Okay. Seeing them gives me a lot more comfort because I'm like, thank God. Like,
would we see them as well do that? Do you think?
Possibly not.
Just a brief.
I think Nuro, you do,
Yeah.
because you've got a moment to scan the field while Sapphire is working on that like water wall.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tomo with pinpoint accuracy is not. I think Tomo's very focused on his prey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Prey.
Okay.
I thought you'd like that one.
I like to imagine us both like exhaling at the same time, like.
All right. I will. I get. We fall back down, and I sort of help Hero to his feet. I'm like, "Come on, Your Majesty. You're not. We're not staying here." And I continue forward, and
This is no place to die.
Yeah, and I kind of stop me, but I feel like we turn the corner, and it's like Banji's on the ground, and he's in front of us.
I think that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. So Min's just like, and we both sort of stop, and we look at him, and he stops and looks at us because he's like, perfect, and we're like, spirits.
I think his foot is still on Banji's head.
Yeah. I think Min sees this and he sees Banji on the ground and he's just like, in his mind he's like, do something, do anything. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna join the exchange. I can really only see one way out, and I have to roll perfect to do it. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to be doing evade and observe.
Should I be worried here?
Yeah, let's see what happens, eh?
I believe in you.
I literally can't. This is my like 5th failure in a row. I'm so afraid.
That's a 5 and a 4.
5 and a 4 with creativity or harmony. We're back, baby. That's a 10. Let's go. Okay. All right. Oh my God. I think Min.
You regain 1 fatigue.
I regain 1 fatigue, which is good because that's what I needed. I get 1 fatigue back because Min is just that sort of ringing that he's sort of had, and that anxiety attack sort of, he sees his friend in trouble, and it just sort of all just goes before, and he just runs forward. I think I can do this. Ash.
Jesse.
So the way the rules work is I need to mark 1 fatigue to use a learned move.
Mm-hmm.
The move costs me 2 fatigue. Can I don't have that to spend in theory. Can I do that to just immediately out myself of the fight after using the move? Because in theory, if I get more fatigue than I'm full, and full conditions, I'm out of the fight.
So you currently have 1 available fatigue, is that correct?
So I have 2.
You have 2?
But I have to use a learned technique. that I want to do, I have to mark 1 fatigue. And the learned technique costs me 2. So it would send me over, and I would then be taken out of the fight. In theory, the rules say that you can't use fatigue you don't have, but...
Here's what happens. Listeners at home, if you're playing this game, you can do this because narratively it's interesting, but it is technically against the rules. Is you see Banji on the ground, clearly hurt, very clearly hurt, and the pulse goes wild again. You see nothing but flames in your eyes, and you hear FANG. You are certain he puts a hand on your shoulder and leans in and says, "Do it, kid. Show him what you got."
He also hears the voice of Arya saying,
Do not give in to temptation.
and he ignores it and he blocks it out. And he runs forward in that wide stance, sort of skids out and slides a bit, jumps and slams himself back down, and he's going to use his new heat wave. Leap into the air and crash into the ground, creating a burst of lava. Everyone, including allies, is thrown away, disengaged and stunned unless they mark 4 fatigue.
This wave of lava comes forward, and this kid has never seen this in his entire life. He has no idea what is coming. So he stands side on with his hand out, aiming to have some degree of focus, some degree of calming forward as he blocks his body. And it just douses his right side, his arm, his leg, get completely covered in magma. He was not ready to try and dodge this or try and move away from it. Iroh, in a speed that almost blinds the eye, dashes past you, copping some of this lava splattering on him and going through and burning through his disguise to looking much more like the Iroh of today rather than the Iroh that we all know from the show. And he attempts to get Banji and this kid out of the way. And as he does, the kid lets off another unfocused explosion. This is much more how Tomo does it. Rather than it going off at a point, it just goes off around him. And Iroh has enough of a chance to wrap Banji up before he just gets flown, before he gets flung almost into the side wall of the entire pit. You hear a loud crack, and he falls down with Banji. And you look at what's going on. The kid is nowhere to be seen. You are surrounded by lava. And you fall to your knees on the only safe patch that you can, doing everything you can to stay awake. Let's cut back to up in the main room. Currently, you have the advantage. Tomo and Nuro, these two were on the back foot. What do you want to do?
I think Tomo is going to just try to use more than Fate's plaything. I want to call Karash out on her knowledge principle.
Yes?
And I'm going to tell her that, Karash, you have worked so hard, and all that you know I can end right now if you don't stop everything.
Okay. When you call someone out, shift your balance away from center.
All right, so I'm going to move towards control. Okay. I rolled 7 on the dice.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, they will turn back to you and say, 10, you've come back. You have no idea how much I've missed you. You can't just end it all like this. You'll damage your friends. You don't want to get them hurt, do you? She is marking you 1 towards connection.
Oh, so I'm back to 0.
You're back to 0.
You know very well what I can do. Stand down.
And she looks and she says, there's the killer I trained. Do you take a deep breath?
Not yet. Not yet. But I do kind of so I imagine I'm kind of on top of her because I leapt at her from behind, right? So she'd probably be on her front and I am on her back. I think I am just going to press my cestus just into her neck. Yes, Professor, you have trained me very well. Do you really want me to show you?
She smiles and she goes, I demand it.
She doesn't demand anything from you, Tomo.
Nuro, get back. And I'm going to start inhaling.
Tomo. Nuro does not get back.
Nuro, get back. When I see Nuro, what's the state of Sapphire?
Currently, she is very distracted. Pretty much at the end of this exchange, she will get back to... She will move stunned. She'll have back the water in her control.
Nuro, I think just kind of with all their might, instead of through the glass, maybe just instead of those tiny finger moments, just arms just starting to spin, and that water just like flings Sapphire back as far away from this as possible.
Okay. But you're staying there?
Yeah, I'm staying here.
All right. Look, just roll for it. I just want to see... I'm going to let you know you do this.
Yeah.
I want to see how bad it is for Sapphire.
Rely on skills and training,
Yeah.
which is focus. So that's actually a 5. It's a 5.
I think what happens is their head jerks and moves, but their body doesn't quite go with it. So all of a sudden, they hit the ground. They are not that much further away than where they were.
Okay.
But the water then splashes, and all of a sudden... You are going to regret that, my kid. It is going to be a bad time for you, as the water begins to form back up. In the meantime, Tomo, as you're continuing to inhale, you didn't notice that there is some sort of tool that jabs into your metal cestus. I'm going to get you to shift your balance away from center, whichever way you want it to go.
Tomo is in control mode here, so I'm going to move towards control.
You release all the air in your lungs as it becomes electrified, and you are temporarily stunned as your arm just falls flat.
Oh, that's not good.
And she begins to sort of wiggle out from underneath you.
Am I conscious? Am I lucid? Like,
Yeah, no, you're fine. You were ready to explode, and then all of a sudden, just everything changed for you in a heartbeat, and you realize it's because she jabbed you with something electric.
Okay, like I think Tomo's trying to push back against it, but I lose control and I just potato.
So the move specifically that she used is called Jolt.
Yep.
And it is. She's run a charge through
Yeah.
your metal gauntlet.
Yep. Okay, there we go.
Technically, it only does a couple little things. However, if you are wearing metal, it does more.
Yep. Okay, got me. What now? Do I get a response to this, or all I can do is just collapse?
We move into a new stage of combat. Pick your stance.
Advance and attack.
Yep. Advance and attack.
All right. Both of you go first.
Okay. All right. I'm going to use pressure, and hopefully before Sapphire can, I'm just going to go into a stance, lean forward, and drag all the water towards me and away from Sapphire before she can grab any of it. And if I succeed, I basically am just going to create just whip tentacles and just whoosh, whoosh around her, basically to just pressure her and keep her away from Tomo and Karash.
Roll for it.
That's a 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly what you described just happened.
Nuro coming in clutch.
Yeah, a little bit. Pog you.
Someone's got to. We're 2 people down.
What else do you want to do?
I'm going to then strike. So again, just putting all of their energy into it, almost like an earthbending stance, just like feet firmly on the ground and maybe just their hands out in front of them in the whips, and they just kind of swing to the right and then just whip them the whole way around and basically just slam her into the glass.
Woof. Look, the glass definitely breaks at that. Like, that has impact.
Yeah.
I am marking conditions on that. They don't go over, like you're holding onto them still, but you hear the sound of shattering glass.
Yeah.
Like, you see it everywhere. Tomo.
There's a part of Tomo that just wants to charge at Karash and send her and himself flying through that window. But he sees Nuro. And he sees someone that in this moment is stronger than he is. Someone he needs to help him through this. His tormentor's in front of him and she has got everything on him. Tomo is going to Tomo's going to try to help take out Sapphire. Because she's still up, I assume.
Yeah.
Yep.
Looking worse for wear.
Looking worse for wear. All right.
I imagine just like a bit bloody from the glass. And,
You hear some like threats. I am gonna get you.
Yep.
yeah.
So Tomo is going to take off the metal cestus and he's going to fling it towards Sapphire's head and attempt to do a
Aerial attack.
pinpoint strike.
Roll for it.
Come on.
It was almost a Kamehameha cut.
That is an 8.
That is enough. This gauntlet just flies straight at the back of Sapphire's head. And I think she's in the middle of like swearing at you.
Yeah.
I won't say it on the mic because the kids will listen to this show, but like the obscenity, all of the niceties are gone. It's now just proper obscenities and they just stop. And it is that fanciful noise that we hear every so often. And it's such a Tomo thing that their face looks shocked for a second and they slump and you see Tomo standing behind her. Mm-hmm. A couple of steps away because he threw the thing. But all of a sudden you now know you don't need to worry about this woman anymore.
Yeah. And I think we both just might just share a moment. I love how nonverbal we are. It's great.
It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Karash looks at the both of you.
Yeah.
And
Nuro eyes her down. My God.
You now have my attention. What is it you're here for? I'm assuming you don't want to come and rejoin the fold. And she points to the maze and like the destruction that's around it.
Is there still fighting down? Like can looking down, do I see anything?
You hear nothing. There is no sound. There is nothing.
Like a million memories and moments rushing through Tomo's head, but the urgency and Neuro's presence, calming presence, kind of brings him back to the present and the task at hand. And Tomo looks at Karash. The book. Give us the book. Now.
What book? 10. What book?
Don't call him that.
The relic, the thing that you keep by your side, it gives you more power than you deserve. Hand that over or we will take it.
She holds up the tool that she used to jolt you. She goes, this old thing? No, I just made this. This means nothing.
I think in like half before she finishes that, I think Nuro is done kind of seeing this cat and mouse and this just foul look on this lady's face. And I'm going to do Tremble Before Me. And it's just going to, cut her off before she can finish her sentence. And Nuro / not Nuro is just going to it thunders through the room, just answer him.
Roll for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to. Intimidate an NPC as if you rolled a 10 plus. And so, yeah, the typical thing, just like a darkness that just swells up in the room. And just this echoing of like, the book, give us the book. Tell us where the book is.
This has an effect on her. She doesn't quite show it in the same way that you've seen before, where people like fully recoil. Hers is more shock.
Yeah. She'd be like mystified.
And she begins to back up because she doesn't know what it is. But she says, I don't know what book you're talking about. If I have something that... What is this thing? Who are you? She continues to back up. If she was in control of herself, like if she wasn't, she would love to get in and see what it is that is doing, but she keeps taking steps back.
Yeah.
Contrary to how she's presenting herself, which is the true nature of fear.
Is there you said that she held out that jolter thing.
Yeah.
Can Tomo snatch it or break it apart from her hand now that she's sort of holding it out and distracted with Nuro?
I mean, yeah, you can roll for it.
Yeah. What am I rolling here? A strike maybe?
Technically a smash. Just roll. We'll see what happens. Knowing you, it'll be a 12 anyway. Do I have to worry about... Okay. Yeah, you just... Without even knowing...
That is literally a 12.
12.
Yeah,
listeners at home.
You just take it and snap
Cannot
it.
believe it.
Yeah.
You take it, you snap it.
I think we're advancing on her as she's stepping back, definitely.
She realizes that she doesn't have the thing in her hand anymore. And she said, I can tell you with all sincerity, I have no idea what it is you're talking about. But what I do know is that I'm in great danger. And so, I think I need a distraction. And you see her press a button that is to the side of this window that she's now backed up to. And as she does, all of a sudden explosions start going off all throughout the maze chamber. And she says, I installed this after you, Ten. As a contingency, I know that no explosions affect you, but I'm certain falling rocks will. And I'm certain your friends down there will also be affected. You gotta keep coming after me or go after them.
I think the otherworldly aspect kind of dies down at that. And Nuro wants to help their friends.
I kind of want to do a cool thing where I grab you and we just jump through the window to get to our friends as fast as we can.
Do your surprising entrance. That's
Yeah.
your move. You can do it.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know what the book is?
She looks and she says, whatever mystic book you think I have.
But it might not be a book. It's a spirit. And the Nuro's kind of having some realizations.
And you hear an almighty crack as the dome above really begins to start making way. And she says, tick-tock.
Tomo grabs Nuro and flings them both through the window. Well, him first, obviously, through the window.
This your surprising entrance again?
Surprise entrance. Surprise, mother. What do I add to this?
It's trick. Creativity.
Creativity. 9.
Okay, you don't see it, but as you look to your friends, you look to Karash, you grab Nuro and you leap through.
Yep.
And you begin to slide down the wall. As you slide down the wall, you don't see this. But Nuro, you never take your eyes off the professor. And as you are dragged through the window, she takes out her notebook. And as part of that is just a dusty old journal, something she's been scribbling notes in for years. And you feel
I've been waiting for a pull. Something.
That has that pull. And no wonder she didn't know what you meant by book, because it is just something she has been scribbling in for years.
Book of War is Lucas Lee as Tomo, Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself Jesse Thomas as Minh Fang, and Ash Cooper as our Grandmaster of the White Lotus. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, as well as Combustion, Minh Fang's theme, and Tomo's theme are all by our wonderful music producer Matt Harrison. If you haven't already, you can go to our website and check out his SoundCloud. Additional sound and musics are from zapsplat.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram just by searching up the Book of War podcast and Avatar Legends Real Play. If you're one of our lucky patrons, make sure you head on over to our Discord, where Ash has been doing some recordings of his first thoughts of the Netflix Avatar Last Airbender show, as well as just everyone else talking about it, all the Patreons having a chat. So make sure that if you want to join our community and want to have a chat and weigh in on the discourse of the Avatar Netflix series, please get on in. I ain't going to tell you anything, because if you really want to know my thoughts, you'll come and join us. If you're enjoying the show, jump on over to one of our socials and let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to get some feedback. Share those memes in those pages. We'll put them up. We love memes. Please send us more memes. We absolutely love memes. We live off of them. So the next episode will be up in 2 weeks, the 16th. However, those 2 episodes following will be part 1 and part 2 again. So you'll get an episode on the 16th and the 23rd. So we will see you then for the exciting conclusion of this arc.
Get him, Ted. Get that kid.
Get that 10-year-old kid.
Commit murder.
Get that prepubescent kid.
And Sparky Boom Boy's life. No, you don't have to add that in.
That's for us. That's for us. Kill this kid so it isn't that guy.
Destroy his life force. Make sure he doesn't
Make Ash rewrite this entire concept.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.